Hi, I'm Cheryl Kemeny, president of Crystal Theater, and I'm here to talk about starting your own theater. We started out very small under the auspices of the Norwalk Parks and Recreation Department. We started our first class with 75 students at a abandoned gymnasium, and we worked our way up to the theater we have today. 236 seats, and it was all the work was performed by local contractors and craftsmen, volunteers, and Crystal Theater members. So you can do this yourself. One of the keys to having a successful children's theater is finding a place, and that could be your local church group. Ask to use schools when schools are not in session, after school programs, anything like that. With us, we stress costumes and the material. You can find the material at Crystal Theater Publishing. We have lots of shows for all age groups, and they're easy enough to put on. The next step is, what if you need a choreographer? You go to your local dance studios and see if there's anyone willing to volunteer to work on their show. The upside of that for them is they can recruit new students, or you can actually recruit students from them. So it's good to partner up with groups throughout the town. Our first choreographer was somebody I met at a seminar, and turned out she had a dance studio, and right away we got together, and she's still with us today, 26 years later. So it's worth it to reach out to people in your community. The hardest thing to find is the musical director, and the most pricey. I would say maybe go to the local piano teacher, but sometimes pianists are not the same as an accompanist. Accompanist has to support that singer and not go their merry way. So that's something you need to work out and practice. Another good possibility is the local high school musical teacher, or more likely the middle school music teacher or elementary school musical teacher, who might want some work on the side and be willing to do one show a semester with you. So that's another avenue to pursue. We do provide you with background CDs that you can use for performance, which is effective particularly among the younger students. As you get into the high school groups, though, I will say that you're going to want to have live musical backgrounds. It's good for rehearsal, in which case you may want to go on to Craigslist to advertise for musical directors. There's always that recent college graduate who's really proficient, but may be wanting to find a place to start out to build their credits, and they'll come and work for you for a reasonable price. So you need to be proactive, get out there, use the internet, Facebook, any of those social networking sites to try to find people that you can use to help you teach your classes. For most of our shows, we started off without a theater when we had no set. Now, you're going to see one set that we're still using 20 years after we first started. This was painted by Rosemary Bianchini, and it was the brainchild of my husband to spin that set around. So the other side is a different painting, but you may not want to get that fancy. You could do probably a similar thing with flats that you paint. But for the most part, we just use little set pieces, and now our favorite thing to use is projections. So the most expensive thing about that is you're going to need to have a scrim, which is a plain white solid screen to project on. You may not have that to begin with. We certainly didn't. So cardboard trees, boxes. We've had to do many special shows in New York City where we were only allowed to use boxes put together in different fashions. Material thrown on the floor, kids becoming trees, all kinds of ideas like that. Our shows, Ellis Island and Aesop's Fables, even Mother Goose Retires, none of them require a set. Costumes, and for costumes, Goodwill, those parents who like to sew, you don't find them so much anymore, but you will find people that like to do face painting, and that's very helpful in shows like Thumbelina, Mother Goose Retires.